All right, today we're diving into what might just be one of the most profound texts ever created. It's a source of ancient wisdom that really challenges everything we think we know about knowledge itself. So let's jump right in and see what secrets it's hiding.
So what we're looking at here comes from the Mahanarayana Upanishad. Now these are ancient philosophical texts from India, and they're all about grappling with the big questions, the nature of reality, the self, all that deep stuff. But this one communicates its ideas in a very, very unusual way.
Because here's the thing, when you open it, this is what you see. Just page after page of nothing. And that raises a fascinating question. What if the most profound truth isn't found in complicated sentences, but is actually staring back at us as a complete and total void?
I know what you're thinking. This has to be a printing error, right? An empty book? But that's exactly where this whole exploration gets interesting. We have to start wondering, what if this isn't an absence of something, but the presence of something else entirely?
Yep, you heard that right. As we flip through these pages, there are no words, no diagrams, no instructions, just the pure, unwritten page. It's a book that, completely resists being read in the way we normally think about it.
So here we are at a fork in the road. Do we just write this off as a mistake and close the book? Or do we lean in a little closer and ask a much more interesting question? What if the emptiness is the message? What if this is wisdom in its most direct, undiluted form?
To even begin to wrap our heads around this blank page, we kind of have to hit reset on what we think silence and emptiness even mean. We usually think of them as a lack of something, right? A void. But a lot of philosophical traditions see it completely differently.
Okay, check this out. It's all about the contrast. Think of noise, and by that I mean any kind of defined information, like words or symbols, as being inherently limited. It has a specific shape, a specific meaning. But silence? Silence is pure potential. It's formless, it's infinite. It holds the possibility of everything before it gets narrowed down into just one idea.
And this right here is a huge shift in perspective. The blank page isn't the absence of an answer. It's the presence of all possible answers. It's this space where understanding isn't just handed to you. It has to bubble up from inside you.
This brings us to a really critical point about knowledge itself. We are creatures of language, right? We think in words, we talk in words, we search for truth in words. But what if the biggest truths just can't be squeezed into them?
Think about how language actually works. We use a word to define something, to put it in a neat little box. That's a tree. This feeling is love. But the moment we define it, we also draw a line around it, separating it from everything it's not. So if ultimate reality is this boundless, interconnected thing, how could our little boundary-making words ever truly capture it?
This quote just nails it. The second you can write something down or say it out loud, you've already made it smaller. You've only captured one little piece of a reality that's infinitely complex. Words can point you towards the truth, but they aren't the truth itself.
Okay, so if words have their limits, how on earth do you communicate a limitless idea? This is where the sheer genius of the empty book starts to become crystal clear.
So here's the crucial takeaway. When you look at this blank page, it's not about failing to find an answer. The book isn't broken. It's doing something so much more radical.
It's an invitation, plain and simple. Instead of telling you about the boundless, formless nature of everything, it just gives it to you, directly. It's not asking you to read, it's asking you to experience, to just sit with the silence, with the potential, with the void, and let understanding come from that direct encounter.
And there it is. That's the big revelation. The medium is the message. A formless truth is being communicated through a formless medium. The page itself, its emptiness, its potential, is the wisdom. It's the perfect and maybe the only way to represent a concept that you just can't write down.
So where does that leave us? What do we take away from this? How does an ancient, empty book speak to us today, in a world that is just flooded with information?
Well, the lesson here is pretty profound, isn't it? It's pushing us to look past all the noise and find real value in stillness and silence. It's a powerful reminder to embrace the mysteries, the things that can't be neatly explained or summed up in a tweet. It teaches us that some of the most important kinds of knowledge aren't things we learn, but things we realize, in the quiet spaces between our thoughts.
And that really just leaves us with one last question to think about. In our own lives, when we're searching for understanding or clarity or some kind of truth, are we only looking at the words on the page, or are we paying attention to the silence, to the empty spaces, the margins, where the deepest wisdom might actually be waiting for us?